The Legend of Zelda is an iconic video game franchise. Although Mario and Pokemon overshadow it in popularity, the thing that sets Zelda apart is that it's an event every time a new game comes out. Probably because the series hasn't been milked. Breath of the Wild has been praised for reinventing this series. Ocarina of Time and Link to the Past are known as some of the best games of all time. Zelda 2 is known as being... But what about the game that started it all? Is it Oh, sorry, this is the internet. How fucking terrible is this piece of shit? I think the original Super Mario Bros. For the NES is a good comparison to the first Zelda also for the NES. Of course, the games themselves are very different, but I mean they are similar in the sense that, although Super Mario Bros. May not have invented the side-scrolling platformer, it popularized and evolved it so much it very well could have. It's the same with Zelda, but with action RPGs. The game was inspired by Shigeru Miyamoto, one of the game's main creators, exploring places where he had lived when he was younger, because yeah, Miyamoto at least helped create like all of Nintendo's biggest stuff, even a little with Pokemon, but let's move on to the actual game now. The Legend of Zelda for the NES. Just by looking at the title screen, you know you're in for an adventure. Or should I say, legend? Ha 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 ha. The version of the title screen theme you hear isn't actually the original version, as Zelda as a whole was made for the Famicom Disk System, which makes it so that that version has some higher samples with the music and some other changes. But the regular old NES version is in my opinion superior for the simple fact that it doesn't have to deal with all of the loading of the Disk System version. Just by pressing one button, we have a revolution on our hands. Safer? Is this 1986 or 1987? Nintendo, you've done something. Zelda had saving, which was a very convenient, because if you had to restart the entire game all over when you got a game over, I would be peeved. So after writing an extremely mature name, it's time to start this legend. And just like that, we're off. Go inside this cave and holy shit, there's an elevator. Oh, an old man, that Link or whatever you name him, just trusts immediately. That's not very... I'm not even going to finish that sentence because it's such an original thought that nobody has ever said, and I will keep it to myself until I die. Get a sword, which you can throw unless you take damage, and then you can just wave a stick around. So now we just walk around and explore these places, which look very similar, and oh shit, oh shit, oh shit! The enemies in the start of the game are mostly quite still and quite chill, which is good because the combat in this game is a bit odd. When you swing your sword, you stop in place until the attack is finished, but you get used to it, so it's not that big a deal. Hey, you know that thing I said about most early enemies being still? If you don't, I would be concerned, but that does not apply to Sora. Damn, I hate that thing. The Sora shows up in every single body of water. Stop it! Walking around for a good while and watching a lot of screen slides, I go to this small tree. I wonder what's inside. Oh. Of course, it's a massive brick dungeon. The dungeons are easily my favorite part of the game. You solve some puzzles, simple puzzles at that, but still puzzles, and the atmosphere is just great. I mean, yeah, it's an NES game, but they're so different from the Overworld. It contrasts from the green fields and forests with adventurous music to dank and dark chambers full of monsters with music I think I even like more than the main theme. After going through the first dungeon and beating the boss, a dragon, which definitely fails if it's supposed to look scary or be hard for that matter, we get a piece of the Triforce. What the hell does that mean? As this is an NES game and an early one at that, most of the story is in the manual, so it's paraphrasing time. You play as Link, or whatever name of you're choosing, and you have to explore the vast world of Hyruler. The Triforce, which consists of 2 triangles. Okay, so hold on. In later games, there are 3 pieces. I thought that was the reason it's called the Triforce, but I guess not. Anyways, yeah, Ganon wants to steal the Triforce piece. Zelda has the Triforce of Wisdom, but she breaks them up into 8 pieces, and they're hidden in dungeons. So Ganon's like, yeah, okay, I'll just steal Zelda instead. And now you have to get all the 8 pieces of the Triforce. Go. Even after reading the manual, I still have no idea what to do. And the only reason I knew what to do until this point is because I've seen other people play this far. Also, it's pretty easy. Now I know what you're thinking. Stampy's back, you absolute moron. You're supposed to explore, and yeah, that's what I did. Or at least I tried to, because again, these screens look very similar. And that map, or at least what I assumed to be a map, really doesn't help. You can find some old people in caves that can sell you upgrades and items for rupees, which you can get by killing enemies. Oh, gambling in this one cave, hell yeah! Damn it, I'm broke. Also, there are some ladies who just sit there. Why? You just walk around aimlessly and you have no idea how you're supposed to find anything really, and yeah, this is an open world adventure game all about exploring yourself. But when you have to burn specific bushes and bump specific walls that look exactly the same as other bushes and walls, well, I don't know about you, but I sure wouldn't call that great design. You see, Zelda's a game you kinda need a guide or walkthrough to play in my opinion, or at least some sort of outside help. You may think, whoa, doesn't that kinda remove some of the point of playing it and discovering things on your own? Well, yeah. But also no, because finding stuff on your own isn't that fun when it's so cryptic. Now even playing with a guide, yeah, it can be fun for like an afternoon if you just check where stuff is and how you do some stuff that's cryptic as shit. Oh, and also this game is hard. Okay, look, listen. I am not the greatest at this game, but sometimes you just walk into a screen, either in a dungeon or just on the overworld, and it's just like, oh whoa, there's a shit ton of difficult enemies there. I'm fucked. Even though this game started a great series on its own, looking back it isn't that great, and I wouldn't recommend playing through it even with a guide. I understand it was a big deal when it came out, but guess what, I checked my calendar and it's not 1987 anymore, it's 2008. I really need to get a new calendar. I'll do it in 2010. I think we should judge the game as it is now, and in my opinion, now, it's not the greatest. But hey, if I'm not a huge fan of a game that's considered to be legendary, I can't even begin to imagine what the most controversial game in the series is like. So I'm just not going to find out, because why would I need to play the game and get my own opinion when I can just echo the opinions of others I've heard?